Okay, now we are live. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to my Real Talk Show. This is your Anuraadha Shree, your corporate communication coach. And today, the show is our 21st episode. The topic today is about experiential learning, right? So every week, every Monday and Friday, we come up with an amazing guest speakers, and they come out with their own experience as a coach, as a mentor, as an author. And even today, we have an amazing business specialist, business growth specialist. But here, the topic, what he speaks is about experiential learning, like explore the world of experiential learning. As you know, experiential learning is a process of learning by doing, or more narrowly, learning by reflecting on doing. So, what is it? How to do it? To talk more about this, we need to invite our guest speaker, Mr. Shanker Viswanath. Before we invite him for our talk, let me read his profile. By the way, who is he? As you all know, as I told you before, he's a business growth specialist. At the same time, he's an international business coach. He's a fellow chartered accountant, 29 years of work experience, PGPDM, topper, SPGI MR, headed finance functions in Fortune 500 companies, trained 19,000 plus professionals across 12 countries in the last 9 years in the L&D space. 15 plus certifications in training and coaching. Isn't it amazing? Yeah. Facilitated more than 50 plus TTTs, 1,200 plus trainers. Coached CEOs, trainers, NLP practitioners, ICF certified coaches. Posted continuously on social media for more than 1,000 days and counting. Yeah, I watch for this. I know him. And in addition to it, I would like to say that Mr. Shanker Viswanath is a well-organized, systematic person, because I know him in person. So that's why I met him today. So the right time to invite our guest speaker wholeheartedly.
Good evening, Anuradha.
Good evening. Thank you for coming to the show, Mr. Shanker.
My honor, my pleasure to be here.
Yes. And before getting this topic, I just want to talk about your journey with this.
Okay, so my journey, I'll keep it very, very short. I will explain it through my name, Shankar. So, S stands for where did I start? I started in a very small place called Attingal, Kerala. As soon as I was born, my father migrated to Hyderabad. So H got added in my name. Initial schooling happened in Hyderabad. So till 1979, we were in Hyderabad. 79, we came to Mumbai. So last 44 years, 45 years, almost in Mumbai now. Academically, so that A, SHA, academically, I'm qualified as a fellow chartered accountant, PGPDM, and the host of certifications that you just mentioned. And I'm very, very naive to all these worldly wisdom that people talk about. K, probably God thought that there is some teacherly qualities in me. He saw some knightly qualities. So he made me a teacher in 2014. E, I'm very empathetic and respectful to others. And R, at the age of 48, I rediscovered myself, moving away from a CA to now a CA. So one is a chartered accountant and now a coach aspirant. So I want to be one of the best coaches in this country. Thank you.
Wow. What a nice intro. Very, very inspiring, Shankarji.
Thank you.
So now coming back to this, you are an international business coach.
Yes.
So what made you to be in this? Because you are a chartered accountant. And you said that you rediscovered yourself at the age of 48 years.
Correct.
What kind of transition happened?
Well, the 29 years that I spent in the corporate world, literally. I say 29 because I started my articleship way back in 1985. And the way you're grilled in your articleship, I think it is more than work. Even when you work, you don't work as much. So the grilling started from 85. So 85 to 2014, 29 years of non-stop work, working nearly, well, if you look at the grueling start, I used to leave home at 5 in the morning to reach college at 7. 7 to 10 college, 10:30 to 6:30 articleship, and then 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock classes. And by the time I come home, it used to be 11 o'clock. So where is the time to study? Where is the time to look after your health and a lot of other issues? Now, this journey of 3 years literally conditioned me to getting into some good habits, which I follow even till today. So waking up early in the morning, doing things in a structured way so that, you find time to do a lot of stuff in between. That continues. So living like that for 29 years of the corporate world really took a toll. And I said, enough is enough with all the metro constructions happening in Mumbai, traveling 4 to 5 hours a day. And then on top of that, being a chartered accountant, visiting clients, doing audits, staying late again, lot of issues. I said, I had reached the saturation point, and I said, enough is enough. I knew exactly what I'm not going to do, but I was not sure what I'm going to do. What I was not going to do is get back to the corporate world. What I was going to do, I had no idea. But then, as I said, God had some different ideas. He made me a teacher. So that's the reason, burnout.
Really, I got amazed by listening to your story, in fact. And coming back to the topic.
Yes.
The topic here, what we said is about experiential learning. According to you, what do you mean by that?
According to me, well, I'm just a learner. So let me take you back to somebody who has spoken about it really in reality. And I'm going to share my screen with you for this so that we will explain this in a slightly different way to the audience today. So here goes. So in 1984, this gentleman called David Kolb or David Kolb, the B is silent, an American educationist, came up with this topic known as experiential learning cycle. It's a cyclical learning process which has 4 stages. So the first stage is a stage of concrete experience or doing. How do you get any concrete experience? Is only by doing. You can't think about something and get a concrete experience. Having done so, then you move into a reflective observation, or this is the observing stage. You reflect and you observe on what you did. Then you get an abstract concept in your mind. This is the thinking stage. And then the 4th stage is known as active experimentation or the planning stage. And David Kolb says that learning is a process of transformation of an experience into knowledge. And therefore, it is a cyclical process. Now, let's take a very concrete example. Do you cook?
Yeah.
You do, right? Yeah. But when you were born, you didn't know how to cook. Probably there was no need as well. Like mommy was there. Mama, I want milk. Mama, I want tea. Mama, I want coffee. Whatever. Mama, where is the tiffin? Whatever. Everything, mama. But then maybe came a situation where you had to go and stay separately somewhere, to an hostel or wherever, to another city, or that's the time you got a concrete experience of cooking for the first time. You learned how to cook, whatever. You burnt it, you learned for the first time. And then you started reflecting. Hey, mom, when mom used to make, the taste was like this. When I made, why is it like this? Something is wrong here. So you called up mommy. And then you told her everything of what you did. And she gave you possibly some inputs, which is still abstract in your mind. Then you planned for it. Okay, next time when I do it, not only will I keep what I have in mind, but I will also use these. So you plan ahead to actively experiment. you get another experience, you reflect, you get another concept, and that's the experiential learning cycle. So in short, learning is a process of transformation of an experience into knowledge for adults, particularly for adults. And if you were to take this to children, even children have learned like this knowingly or unknowingly, isn't it? I'm a little teapot, short and stout. We never forget this because we have been taught like that. This is my handle and whatever. This is my spout, isn't it? They've connected it to a song. They've connected it to some actions. That's the concrete experience. Of course, children don't reflect that much at that point of time. It's kind of rote learning, but eventually it takes the shape of an experiential learning. Does that make sense?
Great. Shanker. And what you said about cooking, it just happened last night in my house.
Yes.
I just told, oh my God, it doesn't taste the way you did it.
Yes.
I don't know.
That is what it is. And adults like it like that. Now, had you not said that and had mom come and told you something that the taste is bad, you'll always defend yourself.
Yes.
I'm a great cook. No, you should eat whatever I make, etc.
Oh, another sentence. You always comment whatever I do.
Absolutely. You will always find all faults in what I do. You don't praise, etc. But when you say it, and when your mother tells you that, okay, this is it, as an adult, you start reflecting, yes, probably what she's saying is right. But it's still very abstract because it's not happening right in front of your eyes. Therefore, it's an abstract concept. And then when you go and actively experiment it the next time, you get a new concrete experience. So that's experiential learning for you.
Lovely. Wow, great insight. Hi viewers, I just want to brush you up. You must be wondering what we are talking right today. We have our guest speaker, Mr. Shanker Viswanath, who's talking about experiential learning. So just talking about we didn't get into the subject yet. We're just going on, just opened up the topic with this journey, and now we're getting into the right away topic. So keep listening, us is going to give us more insight about this experiential learning, whom you all are waiting for. So the next question, what we have here is, how do you create a safe learning environment for your delegates?
How do you create a safe learning environment? Good question. What is a safe learning environment? An environment where people feel safe to share whatever they know or whatever their ideas are, isn't it? Think about it. When somebody comes, you're a trainer, you're a coach. When somebody comes to you as a coachee or as a trainee in your classroom, the more open an environment you create, the better it is for the trainees to come forward and share their knowledge. Now, let me take you back to the diagram again, because it is interesting, because it'll connect now very easily. When trainees come into your room, do you agree that adults come with some prior experience?
Yes.
Now, you should, as a trainer, as a coach, as a consultant, as a teacher, etc., never ever discount that prior experience. Because they come with whatever knowledge they have up to that stage, they come with that baggage into the class. Allow them to share that. There is no problem. Don't be worried that they will know everything and you can't add any more value. Allow them to share it openly and freely. When they start sharing it, and probably when they fail in some manner, they are ready to learn from you, because that's what they've come there for. And allowing them to fail in the classroom without shouting at them, without ridiculing them, creates a safe learning environment. Let me give you're a communication specialist, right? Let's say you're taking a class on communication and you have 10 participants and you say, come one by one, come and introduce yourself. And they come and they introduce themselves the way they know. There is a set pattern maybe that you're going to teach them, but you don't tell them at the beginning. They'll come, they will have a hand in the pocket, maybe they'll stand in some pose, or they'll stand in a very loose posture, etc. So you don't tell them anything at that stage. You allow them to demonstrate their prior experience. and which in a way will bring them to this stage. When I say fail means it's not fail in the sense we understand failure, but it's not fully succeeding as well. It's partial success. Let them do what they want. Then when you make them reflect and when you give them that, whatever the comments, etc., they are ready to actively experiment it the next time to get a newer experience. Did that make sense? I will teach my communication students like this because for them now, I have some knowledge. The trainer is giving me some more knowledge. I can integrate the two and create a better version of myself. So there is a safe learning environment. They are happy to share. There's nothing holding them back. So that's how you create a safe learning environment. Plus, make sure that you are empathetic, no gender bias, no sexist remarks, no, stereotyping, avoid all of that in the classroom. You create a safe learning environment. So
yeah, because we always take care of, let them be open enough to share.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they're a little bit insecure or you feel that it's not
Yes.
comfortable, I'm
Yes.
sure they're going to be in the place where they are. And
Exactly.
keep nodding. Yeah, whatever they keep nodding over there.
Absolutely. And as a trainer, as a facilitator, it's your role also to watch out. And during the breaks, go and talk to such people. So you have a bigger role than merely going inside the room and talking. You have to observe a lot. And if there is a silent learner, or if there is somebody who's trying to ramble, or if there is a show-off person somewhere, or, there are a lot of characters like this. Talk to them one by one during the breaks and figure out. Because in a one-on-one conversation, you can be a little more stern because by then you have gained their respect. But if you insult them in front of the class, that's it. They will not open up.
Never.
That's creating a safe learning
No matter.
environment.
I take this time. I take this way how to take the classes separately. Talk to them. Ask them to open up, especially when you come up with a person who reads silently.
Right.
Initially it took difficult, but now it's okay. Then how about incorporate? How do you incorporate reflection into the experiential learning activities?
Okay. So it's very, 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 very simple actually. So for example, I get a brief saying that there is an issue with the team. They are not communicating with each other. And we want you to do a communication session or a team building session, etc. Just keeping it short. Now, suppose we take this session and I want to use the experiential learning process to teach them. I don't want to teach them anything. I want them to learn rather. So what do? I incorporate games into my training programs. So let's look at it once again. So there's this great game called Broken Squares. This is a very famous game. Broken Squares is where you break teams into 5. There'll be 5 members in each team. I'm going to keep it very, very short for want of time. There'll be 5 members in each team and an observer in each team. So totally 6. So if we have 25 people, 24, and one will help me move around, he'll be the additional facilitator. The 5 people in each team are given a packet consisting of 15 broken square pieces in 5 different envelopes. Listen to it carefully. The objective is they have to make 5 equal squares out of those 15 pieces. But there is some caveat to it. They cannot communicate with each other. So they cannot open their mouth and talk. They cannot communicate through gestures or, no signals. They cannot pick a piece from somebody directly if they think that that piece fits their square. They cannot put their piece in the middle for anybody else to take, but they have to observe. And if they think that their piece will fit somebody's exactly, they can give it to that person. They can give away all their pieces if they want. No issues at all. But the objective is the team that does 5 equal squares in the fastest possible time wins the game. In short, now the observers are there. We ask them to observe. We also give them the right to disqualify and all that. So we are very strict because when you look at processes, you can't break processes in your corporate life, right? If there is a rule, you have to follow that rule. If you have to come at 9:30 into the office, you come at 9:40. 3 times in a week, you will be docked 1 absent, whatever. That's a rule. So you have to follow it. Like that, there are rules. Now the concrete experience, they will go through it. Some teams may be able to do it, some teams may not be able to do it. Then we give them a reflection sheet, a questionnaire, which will give them, hey, what went right, what went wrong? What do you think this game is all about? Did our not allowing you to communicate hamper you in any manner? Why is communication so important? All those questions which we really want to teach them as a concept are put in a questionnaire. And then those become an abstract concept. Maybe we can ask them to go through the game again, actively experiment, and they get a new experience.
Wow.
And now just think about it, that we want to teach them the importance of trust. We want to teach them the importance of empathy. This game is so beautiful because the whole objective of the game is there are people who have finished their square and they sit tight, thinking that mine is over, but little knowing that some piece in this square doesn't actually belong to them, their square. It belongs to somebody else's square. And the other four will not be able to make their squares. But they are okay. Mine is done now. And that's how we work in offices, right? Like in a silo. My work is done. My targets are achieved. Who cares about the other groups? So such a simple yet powerful game for experientially facilitating trust, empathy, communication. Now the whole Albert Mehrabian theory can come into this, that only 7% is words, 93% is body language, plus whatever the tone, etc., etc. And purposely, we did not allow you to communicate. Is there a process to communication? What went right? What went wrong? Do you face such situations in your office? How do you handle it right now? How can you handle it differently? Even if you just sit and visualize now, you can imagine the kind of interaction that will happen in the room and the kind of learnings that the participants will take away. Does that make sense?
Amazing, mind-blowing. So I'm going to use this technique tomorrow.
Yeah, use it. In communication, use it. It is brilliant. Use it.
Viewers, if you had missed these tips, please go check our recordings and you'll be getting it. And try to use it in your sessions too.
Absolutely.
And say thanks to Shankarji after doing your sessions. And also know the feedback. If you use this technique, please come back to us and mention them in the mentioned comments.
Yes.
At least one word. Thank you, Shankarji. Not to me, to him. But I'm going to use this technique because I'm going to check this record. As I'm interviewing now, I cannot focus more. But still, after the session finish, I'm going to get through this recording and do a game here and then put into action. What do you think?
Absolutely. So you are only getting a concept now in an abstract manner. You go and experiment it actively. Tomorrow, you'll get a new concrete experience.
Yes, Shankarji, to be honest, I'm an action taker. Someone says I don't just listen. I just put into myself, how do I do it? And if it works well, if you have any doubts, I'll just go back to the concerned person and same thing we'll do it with
anytime. Anytime. Feel free.
Okay, viewers, please try this technique and use it in a session. And if it really works out, please mention thanks. Or if you want to know more, you can always contact our Shankarji is right over here. So before let me have another question for you.
Sure.
The simple question is like, generally, what is your definition for experiential learning? Simple words. Simple.
My definition, simple words, transformation of experience into knowledge.
Transformation.
Simply put, transformation of experience into knowledge. You go to a driving school, you don't know how to drive. You sit on the steering wheel, there is a coach or a trainer sitting next to you. He says, start the car, the car stops. Why? How? Till then you thought, oh, car driving was like sitting like a pillion in my father's lap and saying, grrr, and car goes. It doesn't go. It doesn't go. There's a gear, there is a clutch, there's an accelerator, there's a brake, there's a side view mirror, there's a rear view mirror, so many things. And it is a daunting task. And it's a very, very concrete, daunting experience you got. Then your trainer will take you back and say, okay, let's reflect. Now just listen to me carefully. Because when the clutch goes in, you have to leave the accelerator. Otherwise, the car will make a lot of noise if both are pressed together. When your accelerator goes in, you have to leave your clutch. So this is the motion you need to use in order to drive the car. Now, this is still very abstract in your mind. What the hell is he saying? Then he will take you back to the steering wheel And slowly but surely, you think you're driving, but he's also got a set of clutch and brake and accelerator and a steering in his hand. Actually, he's driving, but you feel you're driving. He gives you the confidence. That's the role of a teacher, to handhold the people and ensure that they learn faster. And there could be some slow learners inside this. So you create a safe learning environment for them to make those mistakes without ridiculing them. They'll also come along with you.
Wow.
So a simple example.
Simple example, and it's being a realistic example, which happened with my case when I drive a car. This was told to me when I was learning a car driving.
Exactly. So,
When I have no time to ask you more questions, but still I'd like to ask you.
please ask. No worries.
Now you have got so much of certificate and knowledge and all about this. So have you written any book, or do you have any plans to write a book?
Yes, I am writing a book which is in process, but this is purely from the business perspective. But I do plan to write a book for trainers as well to help them with various processes and techniques which are there. But the first book will be titled as Step Up. STEPUP. That's an acronym I've created for strategies, tactics, evaluations, and principles to upskill and progress as a businessman to grow your business. So it'll have 12, all put together, 12 strategies, tactics, evaluations, and principles, maybe 3 each. So totally about 12 of them, 12 tips, 12 ways to grow your business effectively. So that's the book.
Acronym.
You can expect it next year.
Yeah, acronym on your name, acronym for your books. What else?
I'm an acronym man.
Acronym, I was telling you. Covering this 30 minutes won't be enough to interact with our Shankerji. Probably we need to have another session too with him.
Will do. Pleasure.
Yes. Viewers, if you have any questions, you can please ask our Shankerji. Whatever, though he is a business growth specialist, but he has lots and lots of experience in training and mentoring you all. By the way, before we wind up this session, I would like to have a practical tips to our lovely audience where we can take steps right away. No abstract, no learning.
No abstract. So I'll give you 3 tips or 3 things to take away.
Sure.
Remember that nothing in life comes cheap. If you want things of quality, you need to pay for it. Last 8 years, I have spent more than 18.5 lakhs to upgrade myself. I have not spent that much in the last 48 years of my life. If you need something good, you need to spend, number 1. Number 2, there are no shortcuts to success. It is hard work. Success is what people see, but they don't see what happens behind the scene. So there's a lot of hard work, sweat, tears, a lot of things behind the scene. And third, and the most important thing, you are your biggest catalyst or your biggest, the bar. Whether you want to be a bar and hold yourself down, pull yourself down, or you want to be a catalyst and take yourself up. It depends on you. You are your biggest hurdle or your biggest catalyst. Remember that. Nobody else. It's all here. It's the mindset. You fix the mindset, 90% of your things are done. Rest is transactional, can be handled. So those are the 3 tips.
Lovely. In this, he didn't spend in 48, he saves very well. After 48 years, they start investing money around 18 lakhs to upgrade. So viewers, you know that it's just not about sitting and expecting things to happen. You
Absolutely.
In yourself. That's what we've been telling all trainers and coaches. We have been spending lots of time and money to upgrade ourselves. And viewers, if you would like to update yourself, I would love to say that invest in yourself, other investing elsewhere. It pays you, no count about it.
Rich dividends.
Yes, lots of dividends. I can vouch for it. Even I have been investing my time and learning many things with amazing speakers like this. I'm sure I really carried away by our guest speaker today, Shanker.
No, not at all. You are doing a brilliant work and keep continuing to do this. Spread the knowledge, and it's very, very important. You are a catalyst. See, you are a catalyst in spreading this knowledge, and keep doing this. And very soon there'll be a 100th episode. So that's a
Seriously,
century.
because I learned a lot from getting the guest speakers here. It's just not about interviewing them, because after every interview, I just go hear the recordings. If not,
Absolutely.
maybe after, because whenever I need some point and I get the answer over here. So because you can also do the same. So I think I'm finishing on dot. No complaints about it. Okay, with this, we come out with the end of this episode. So I would like to say thanks from the bottom of my heart for coming to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me over, and look forward to, we'll have more episodes if you want. No issues.
Sure,
Anytime,
why
a
not?
pleasure to speak to you.
Yes, I'll be
So,
ready to accompany you too.
sure.
So wish you all the very best for your future endeavors and viewers. With this, we end this episode. I'll be back with another amazing guest speaker on today is Monday, on Friday. So at same time, 9:15 Indian Standard Time. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you so much. And thank you all my viewers watching it and listening to it patiently. See you then.
Thank you. Thank you, Anuradha. Have a great day. God bless.